record on this. Hey,
Thank you, Sandy.
you are welcome. And Stacey, before I introduce you to everyone again, let me go ahead and start the Facebook live streaming, and then I'll go ahead and just quickly introduce you. And of course, you know, I'll continue to let people in as you're presenting, Stacey.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. So, thank you for waiting, everyone. Okay. Okay, so this is called, as everyone knows, Resources in the Hudson Valley, presented by Stacey Orzell. I'm going to add this to our description on our Facebook page.
I titled my presentation Resources and Recreational Activities in the Hudson Valley and Beyond, because in my research and in my own experience, I've had a great opportunity to learn about some virtual programs that are great for families with children of all abilities over the past year. I'm sure, as you guys have as well, reinvented yourself through the computer. So a few of the wonderful resources I'll share are actually virtual opportunities. Although my son is fit to be tied from virtual, but may experience a few more things before we tidy up and get back to what we hope to be our regular life and experiences in our community in person.
All right, so Stacey, welcome to the Center for Spectrum Services Parent Workshop. I am so, oops, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself so there isn't feedback. And Stacey, please take it away. If you would introduce yourself so there isn't so much feedback. Are you hearing feedback?
Sure, a little bit. Can I get a thumbs up from those of you that are on? Can you hear me okay? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I don't see your name, the lovely young lady with the white background. There's not a name in the screen, but I'm giving a shout out to you. Thank you very much for your feedback. I want to welcome everyone. I am a proud alumni parent. My son Eric attended your Ellenville campus as a preschooler for the Center for Spectrum Services, and we also did some programs. I participated in the parent meetings on the Kingston campus sometimes too. I believe that you are all a part of a very unique and special family. When I received the phone call from Elizabeth as family services coordinator, I could bring myself to a tear standing in the ShopRite parking lot on my way in to just do a weekly chore. And she informed me that my son had a seat in the school. And I literally screamed in the parking lot with joy because I knew Center for Spectrum Services was the right fit for my child. And today, 12 years later, Eric is now 14. You see him in the lower picture here on my screen in front of C.J. Hooker Middle School in Goshen. He's come a long way in a short time. And his foundation that was built in Ellenville with the special loving teachers, the therapists, and even the staff in the building, all the way to Connie in the main office, are loving and kind and special people. And I'm sure there are friends nodding in the audience right now, agreeing with me. That really is a marvelous preschool. So my heart goes out to the founders, Jamie and Susan, and all the hard workers on campus, That's letting you know. Thank you, Sandy. We're good. So there you have it. So my introduction is that I'm a mom of two. I love giving a free plug for the Center for Spectrum Services as it's near and dear to my heart. Built a wonderful foundation for my younger son, Eric, who's affected with autism. He's come a very long way in a short time, and I am always keeping the center in my heart. Over time, I've become a strong parent advocate. I have two boys. My older son, Jason, is 17, also in Goshen in the district in the high school, and an incredible big brother for the little guy. A strong message I always love to offer, which we'll get to in my talk, is to do your best when you have more than one child to welcome the siblings into the play circle. And we'll talk a little more about that. I am excited to present some great resources for you friends today. So the talk we have is going to feature resources and recreational opportunities for families in the Hudson Valley and beyond. We're going to start with taking a brave breath. My most proud accomplishment over COVID was to become trained as New York's first official ambassador for the Choose Love movement. This is an incredible resource that I'll tell you more about as we talk. They have a social and emotional learning curriculum that is impressive, complete from K through 12, digital downloads by grade. And we also have modules for families, agencies, and for people in communities to be able to incorporate the curriculum, the social and emotional learning tools that we offer in your life. And as we all know, where does a child get the best carryover? From the community to the school to the home, when we have the triangle effect. So to get started, I'd like to teach everyone a brave breath. If you would join me in putting your hand over your heart and your other hand over your belly. This is a great coping strategy that I teach my children to do a calm breathe in. We'll breathe in from our nose, hold for a count of 4, and then slowly breathe out. Some research actually shows full nose breathing is more beneficial. So let's begin. Breathe in goodness and gratitude and things that serve you well. Breathe in. And breathe out and release things that don't serve you well. And we'll do one more. For centering, breathe in. Now, throughout your day, feel free to use the brave breath. I think that that's a wonderful technique and a strategy. I've taught it to my children, and by simple use of the language, they both know what to do and how to do, and it builds independence and certainly a positive coping skill for children. You may have seen this lovely poster at the school. Years ago, I participated in a project with New York State called Learn the Signs, and that's a picture of Eric when he was preschool age. And we hope to have empowered families over the years where people may have had a consideration of a possible flag and maybe made a phone call to have an evaluation or report possible concern for a developmental disability and gone forward. As we all know, those of you that are certainly in a preschool or school age situation now, we all believe more now, less later as part of the early intervention model, and then moving on to our special schools where we help our children close our gaps in time, which is really wonderful. So here we have a picture of my two sons, one of my favorite shots in a candid moment. And really is there nothing like the power of a strong sibling in a family where you have an opportunity to be able to include your child. I can recall when I was a service coordinator in early intervention, sometimes a parent would tell a therapist to work directly with the child alone, as they felt maybe that child will get more benefit in the circle as a learner. However, I'm here to remind you as a parent There's nothing better than including the sibling. It's best for the whole family. It's a family model, right? The therapist comes to your space for 30 or 45 minutes, and the sibling and the caregiver that participates in that learning circle carry over those skills ongoing. And that's very beneficial for everyone. I do believe being different is awesome. And I have proudly embraced our growth as a family. We are Special Olympic coaches. So you see a family picture up top. That's my husband and myself. We're both certified with New York Special Olympics. And I'll proudly tell you how to get involved in a few more minutes. We play basketball, swim, and Eric recently also joined our bowling team. Our team is community-based. We're called Thunderbolts. And we have 5 athletic teams in our community that train track and field, swimming, bowling, basketball, and also weightlifting. You have to be 8 to compete. A lot of times families want to know what age is a starting bracket, and you can go all the way through adulthood participating in Special Olympics. Some schools, depending on where you live, have teams that are specific and train at the middle school and the high school level. And sometimes there are teams in the community like ours, and we're out of Orange County, and we welcome athletes crossing over for anywhere in the Hudson Valley. So here we have my son, who is my assistant coach, which is another reason I like to promote the inclusion model, because over time, I've been coaching our team now as head coach for 7 years, but my Jason is my assistant coach. And my husband also participates. And of course, Eric is an athlete on our team. So now that became a family model, which is something we always want to do our best to work towards. It's not always easy to find things where we can include the whole family. Here I offer you the schedule. And like Sandy said, we'll be sharing this presentation. So please don't feel the need to get a pen and a paper out right now and take notes. All these resources will come to you in email. We have coaches that volunteer. Special Olympics is all on volunteerism. We welcome buddies and mentors at our trainings to help. Sometimes athletes need more one-on-one support for learning and practicing skills. And we appreciate volunteers for all they do. And that's been wonderful. I like to give a shout out to Coach Lisa and Coach Holly, who really inspired me to become a coach over the years. Lisa was the coach that started our Thunderbolts family by starting with the track and field team. I believe she's in her 8th year. So we're going to move along. I got a beautiful resource from Coach Alex Catrone just recently. He's friendly with some of our friends in the Kingston school, and he started a Soccer Stars program. This is out of the Port Ewan Athletic Association. They'll be starting up again in September. Their ages are between 5 and 16, and his contact information is here. We're probably going to bond and collaborate, where those of us from Thunderbolts will do a travel team experience and collaborate with Coach Alex in the fall for some sporting experience, and that'll be really nice. His model is also inclusion, welcoming buddies to participate with the players. Here I share a wonderful resource. I highly recommend that you visit profectum.org. This organization teaches social interaction, communication, and engagement. And on their website, they have a free parent resource called the Toolbox. They also have recommendations for you as you develop your IEPs and your goals for your children, moving towards independence and achieving goals. The Profectum organization was developed by Dr. Serena Weeder and Dr. Stanley Greenspan. They started with the DIR model. That's an interpersonal relationship model, and it is wonderful. If you've not picked up books yet by these wonderful psychologists, I recommend it. They now run this Profectum organization honoring Dr. Stanley Greenspan, who passed years ago, but the great work of Dr. Serena Weeder goes on. They have conferences that I attend annually, and they also offer trainings. So I would visit their website for more resources and information. But for the caregivers in the group today, definitely check out and download for free the Parent Toolbox. Our good friend Lisa Correo is with us today. She is starting a new venture out of Rockland Community College. This is going to be for individuals that are 18 and older to participate over the summer in Project Elevate. That's for educate, life skills, enrichment, vocational skills, advocacy, transition, and empowerment. This is going to be a great summer program broken down into different topics, featuring kitchen skills, basic first aid, fitness, healthy living, photography, and more. So if you know anyone that may be older, or you have someone else in a different county that might be closer to Rockland, because I know some of you are out in Ulster or further out, maybe in Sullivan, please share this resource. There are still openings in the courses, and this is going to be a great summer opportunity for starting this year. Tech Kids Unlimited is a great virtual opportunity. TKU is a group out of New York City. And I met the founder years ago. I was working on a project in Albany, and this wonderful gal named Beth really honed in on her own son's skills and his talent in the computer. So if you've ever heard Temple Grandin speak, she talks about finding what's working, make your portfolio, find where your child's strengths are, and follow the path. So my son is great in art. You can see some of the pictures I've put together in this presentation, our artworks of Eric's. That, of course, is our snowy owl. So at Tech Kids Unlimited, they have a wonderful arrangement of topics that they teach. Now, last year, when COVID hit, I didn't have a summer program in place for Eric. Like many of you, I experienced everything was canceled. Everything was no. And when I received an email from Tech Kids Unlimited letting me know that they had virtual programs, I had a feeling this was going to be a great opportunity for Eric. He participated in cartooning, audio production. They did digital storytelling, and he also participated in beat making and sound remixing. This program is special because they help individuals with differences. There's a great ratio of educator, assistant, and social worker in the group. They have no more than 15 attendees per group, and they start at age 7. They may even start at age 6. Sometimes they bend the rules. As most of us in the group here today know, we're not always looking at chronological age. Sometimes we have to have a broader gap where we have skills, maybe that are a 7 or an 8-year-old, but then some of our skills are, a little bit younger. And sometimes that goes for the over bracket also. So I can speak to this program personally, and I've re-signed Eric up for 3 summer weeks this year. You can see the programs are 2.5 hours. They give breaks, and it's just enough to keep him engaged. They're very good about redirecting the children. They all have experience working with children with differences, and I found this to be a really wonderful program. I also want to point out, if you send an email or you go to the website to enroll, there are parent scholarships available. So I was able to take advantage of a financial discount with this organization. They have community partners offering them some funding streams that allow them to help families enroll children in these programs, sometimes for a less price. So there are opportunities to apply for some financial assistance, and I highly recommend that you take a look at these programs. If you email Christina, you can certainly let her know you heard about the program from Stacey. I want to remind you that your family is a team, right? I talk a lot about the family, the inclusion model, being able to do things together when we can. So remind yourself, your family is your team, and together, everyone does achieve more. I've talked a lot about supporting the sibling. There's an organization in Orange County under the Mental Health Association that has a once a month meeting group for siblings of a child with a developmental disability. When Jason was younger, he did participate with this group. You can contact MHA for more information. That'll be in the slideshow that we'll be sure to send to everyone. They also offer a residential forum and a support group at Mental Health Association in Orange County. And the contacts for that will be within the slides. So I'd like to remind you all to grow your support network. Your network comprises of a lot of different folks, your teachers, your therapists, your parents, your mental health specialists, your family services coordinator at the school. Have conversations. If you're having a challenge somewhere, it might be time to speak to someone and learn, and maybe break that challenge down into smaller parts. You might be able to just be an ear for another parent. Sometimes I like to say, although I've learned a lot from teachers and therapists over the years, sometimes my best supporters have been my fellow moms or my fellow dads and caregivers, where we were just sharing strategies, on how to help our children. So keep that in mind. My good friend Rebecca Robbins runs a social skills language group. Actually, Eric and I helped her tag the name of the group years ago, and it's called Buddy Group. She offers this virtually. She has a company called Mindshaper SLP. She is a speech and language pathologist, and she's also a proud alumni, offering her wonderful therapy services at the Center for Spectrum Services in Ellenville and in Kingston. Rebecca now runs this wonderful program where she hosts virtual weekly classes, and she offers family training, carryover skills, and small assignments for individuals to practice the social skills and the communication lessons that she teaches in the group. She also has opportunities either through insurance and I believe also through self-direction, where there can be a reimbursement system. So for anyone considering the financial budget to be able to join this kind of a thing, you can certainly reach out to Rebecca for more details. And she's fun and engaging. Eric participated with Buddy Group for a little more than a year, and now he pops back in as a guest on occasion. I believe he'll be joining one of the groups in June. If you've not already heard about Best Buddies, this is kind of neat. Apparently there was not one chapter in our area, and our good friends Tara Connell and Holly Tashome, who are both speech and language pathologists, also ASHA certified, which is the American Speech and Hearing Association, have signed on to establish a chapter for Best Buddies in Orange County. This, I believe, is a national, maybe even an international organization, and their offices are out of Goshen. They're doing a great job. They only started the program about 2 months ago, and just recently from Tara, I heard they have over 29 members, and they have a buddy system. I think similar to a big brother, big sister, where they're doing good things in the community, and they're offering opportunities for all individuals of all abilities to participate in community service, education, and learning skills from each other as role models and mentors. This group starts from 6th grade and goes up from there. Earlier, I did talk about finding a fair balance being hard, and I want to remind you all as caregivers of an individual affected by autism or perhaps another developmental disability. I'm here to tell you it's not easy to find a balance. It's not easy. This topic actually could bring me to tears pretty quickly. I just want to remind you of that. So when there are opportunities to bring your siblings into the circles, that's another reason, because you're offering that person an opportunity to be a mentor, to help balance a little bit more. Sometimes it's just simple attention. When the therapist used to come in and out of my house weekly in early intervention, Eric was getting a whole lot of one-on-one specialized attention. And, we did our best to bring Jason into that circle. And sometimes he said, no, thank you. And that was okay. But it's not an easy balance. And I just want to remind you all that that's really a truth. If you're thinking about it at times, you're thinking correctly. Just pat yourself on the back for doing the best you can. Oh, this makes me smile. So that was a good transition, right? I feel all my emotions and they're very visible and easily seen on screen. So I think that's good. Sometimes it's healthy and cleansing, and it's nice to come full circle. So here I'm going to share a concept on the right side where we say, give your child roots and wings. This comes from a great lady who used to hold the position that our great Sandy Brownsey now holds as the director of programs in Ellenville, Mimi Werner. Mimi was in charge of the school when we were there, and she gave me this phrase. And it's beautiful, right? We have to give our child roots for foundation in the ground, and then wings to help them spread and grow independently and individually. And I like to say, if Eric could flutter and fly through the world, just like a graceful butterfly on his own terms, without society planting him rules, he would be great. He would flutter through the world. However, society makes us march in a path, and guides us with rules and regulations and policy, and you have to do this and you have to do that. So hats off to Mimi, wherever you are. I hope you get to watch this. Thank you for giving me a life lesson, and I continue to share that and empower your message to caregivers and parents, small, medium, and large. I think it's a wonderful message. And that is a cool artwork that Eric made, which was in an art show 2 summers ago. And if you see the speckles on there on this particular painting, when a painting is wet, you can drizzle salt on it and it gives it more texture, which is a nice technique. On the other side, I offer a resource from my very good friend, Ashley Salty. She runs a great group through the Children's Rights Society called Speak. They're an educational law and advocacy program for low-income families in Orange County, and they're funded through a grant. Ashley's contact information is here, and you can always contact her for advocacy, education, hearings, disciplinary proceedings, possible residency information, and other things that you may have in question regarding your family and the needs of your special needs child. She's a wonderful gal, and I really appreciate all the work she does for advocating for families. Thank you, Ashley. You're doing great work. Here I offer a couple of resources that are also through the Mental Health Association. There's a great lady named Ann Klingner who was with MHA over 25 years. She gives her heart and soul and continues to offer support to families from her heart and through her head. She has years of wisdom and experience offering guardianship trainings, transition information, and overall support to any caregiver. She is the mom of 2 children, and her wonderful daughter, Evie, who is no longer with us, she is in spirit, now has a fund in her name. Evie has a camp fund. So for those of you looking for assistance over the summer, if you're not participating in a school district 6-week program and you're finding outside opportunities for your children, you may be able to get some funding. I believe it's up to $200, and it's a reimbursement style fund through the Evie Klingner Camp Fund. And we thank you and your husband, Johnny, and your family for these great funding opportunities for our local families. I don't believe this is specific to Orange County. I think, I see on the form here, it says up to $250 for this service. So again, the information can be channeled through Ann or by calling MHA, and the phone number for them is on the form here. I will be sure to share this. This form is another funding opportunity through the Autism Move-a-thon of Orange County, and also for the ATM fund, which is called Access to Money. I believe these stipend opportunities are $100 each, not specific to summer camp, but these opportunities could be for you to fund something for your child in the community, like art or sports or performing arts, theater, other opportunities. Perhaps you want to pay for a conference where you want to learn about a certain therapy, or you want to take your child horseback riding. So this fund can be accessed through Mental Health Association to be able to reimburse you for these types of things in the community. So it's nice to know sometimes you can offset opportunities for your child that you may not have considered that you can actually afford, and a little extra money in the budget is always nice. A great place, if you haven't already been there, is the Hudson Highlands, a nature museum that's over in Cold Spring. They have great programs, some that are fixed and some that are just by walk-in. I think things are a little different now under COVID circumstances, although things are lifting. But I would recommend calling first to just find out what trails are open and what exhibits they may have available in the Nature Museum, both indoors and outdoors, for the animal programs that they offer and the trails they have available for hiking. We do biking, hiking, and birding in our family. I love getting out into nature. There's a lot to be said. There's actually something neuroscience calls earthing. If you haven't heard about this, that's when a person connects with the earth. I recently learned about this. And they even recommend take your shoes off and just get your bare feet into the grass. And obviously, perhaps not on a hiking trail or while biking, but if you're birding in an area, you may take your shoes off and enjoy earthing and planting your feet in the ground and observing what you see around you. I've given some opportunities here in the listing, and I can also say that Bear Mountain Zoo offers all of the above. So I didn't include them on the list, but I would recommend that that be a place you may consider visiting. The Bear Mountain Zoo has a small fee for parking. I believe it's $10, and then they just take a couple of dollars donation for the walkthrough in the zoo. And the views are fabulous. They have animals from the bald eagle all the way up to the black bear, and many other displays, including a reptile house and an amphibian house, and some wonderful artifacts to be seen at the Bear Mountain Zoo. There's also a great zoo in Sussex County, New Jersey, called Space Farms. And if you haven't been there yet, it's wonderful. It's a great walkthrough with a stroller, big open paths, and wonderful animals to be seen at Space Farms in New Jersey. And that didn't make my PowerPoint. Here's a trail map for the Heritage Trail, which goes all the way from Middletown to Harriman. It's an 18-mile trail of greatness, and much of it is paved, which makes it nice for bikers. I'm not an adventurous mountain biker. I prefer paved trail myself, but I do walk along this trail quite a bit birding, and I enjoy that very much. I like to remind you all the importance of small steps. Take a look and focus for a moment on the slide in the middle. When we have small steps, we get further. When we have steps that are further apart, it's more challenging to achieve them. And I really believe this is it's a great visual, and it's very true. When I was at school in Ellenville with Eric, learning about how to teach him skills and how to achieve his initial goals on his IEP, the teachers taught me, Miss Terry, thank you. Miss Janine, thank you. Miss Donna, thank you. Miss Felicita, thank you. Break it down. Break it down into small steps. Give one direction. Start small. Don't give two directions. It's confusing. So this is an important lesson, and things that you probably are already considered, and I imagine there are heads nodding in the audience and smiling and winking at me, but it's really true, right? I mean, the best way to set and establish a good goal is to think about it in small parts. And Lisa talks to me a lot about this as well, my associate coach for Special Olympics. This is how we train our athletes. We break things down into smaller parts first. And over time, as we skill build, we then incorporate a next phase, or we work on endurance and do it longer. Things like that can be very successful. But it's important to remind yourself the importance of a smaller step. Eric really does a great job with his artwork. So I feature this because he did a story for school last year as a cartooning project. And I hope someone recognizes this out in our audience. This is Captain Underpants, and they're graphic novels and a wonderful series by Dave Pilkey, and Eric's interpretation of DJ Drowsy Draws. And when he retells this story with enthusiasm, because he has such an incredible memorization, as I'm sure many of your children do, and that's one of the strengths of our children with autism, is the neuro passages where the wiring really solidifies the messages in the memorization. For example, Eric was saying the alphabet backwards accurately and fast as a preschooler at Center for Spectrum Services because he has such a brilliant memorization. So he could retell this story all in a fast New York minute, running through the visuals without any words on the pages. So that may be a strength for your child. Key in on that and work with it and give them opportunity. You know, if the teacher is asking for a story, maybe you can give visuals and have your child retell the story instead of having to write all the words. My Eric has low muscle tone and he doesn't really like to write too much. He'll keyboard type for me, but he doesn't really want to pick up a pen or a pencil. And, you know, slowly but surely, this is a skill that's fading in education, and I don't think it should go away. But I am here to tell you, encourage art, drawing, and being able to think outside the box using visuals at times. We slowly started submitting Eric's artwork to the newspaper. Our very first publishing was at your Shawangunk Journal, right out there in Ellenville. And in Kingston, I know they have the Freeman paper. So this is Eric with a hammerhead shark painting that he made. We submit it to the newspaper. In August, it's National Shark Week. So this was the first of many publishings that Eric has had in our local Goshen Independent, which proudly is America's oldest newspaper since 1806, America's oldest weekly newspaper. It's a great paper, and it's a great way for your child to build some confidence. Eric is now published in the paper once a week. He participates with a friend in a program they created 3 years ago called Animal Art. And Eric is responsible for making 10 weekly fun facts. He gets published in the newspaper, illustrating the fun facts once a week. This is our penguin. And this is a great way to build a portfolio. Now, he's not only creating facts on his desk at home, he's a journalist. This is viable employment for him down the road. And he's skill building. And he has a responsibility to meet a deadline once a week. So over time, we've made this a real important part of his week. When I had no school last summer, Eric was in the newspaper published once a week. He was still doing 10 fun facts and submitting to the paper. And there's a lot that goes behind that. There's the partnership with Daniel, and they text in communication, and there's decision making. Which animal are we going to do? What are going to be the 10 facts? How are we going to comprise them? So there's a lot behind that. I'm not saying follow this model exactly. I'm saying find something of your own child that's an interest and see how you can channel that to possibly being published in your local newspaper. It's still a wonderful opportunity. Even though everything is social media and digital and computer, I love the newspaper. And I hope some of you are smiling and winking at me for that one too. There's a great organization called Proactive Caring, and you can get to their website at proactivecaring.org. They also do a digital newsletter, and this was another place where Eric was published. So they offer resources. Their logo or their motto is, if you have stress, we can help. Can I see a show of hands in the audience? Who has a little bit of stress? Maybe you have a medium or a large amount of stress. The Proactive Caring group got together about 2 years ago under the funding of a grant, and they started developing a program where we were going to be an infield set of players learning the model on how to help parents reduce their stress. And then we were going to go out in the community and host trainings under the train the trainer model to then train more people how to lower their stress. And then COVID hit and they had to reinvent themselves. And we started doing a digital program. Everything went virtual, just like so many other things in our world, as I'm coming to you today from my home on Zoom. And they created a digital resource workbook on this website. So you can go on proactivecaring.org and view old videos that are in the archives and read resources that offer you mindfulness-based strategies, how to reduce and lower your stress, explore your creativity. And of course, stress reduction is for all ages and all individuals of all abilities. So this is a wonderful resource. I recommend it. Is all free. Again, that came under a grant at the time. The fine folks at Mount St. Mary College put this together. There's a team at the top, Dr. Larry Force, his associate, Dr. Jeffrey Kahana, and also Elaine Sproat, all put this together. And they work with other people in the Parent Resource Center out of Western New York and local associates like myself. Sandy Brownsey is on our advisory committee. Thank you, Sandy, for your contributions. And also my good friend Lisa is on that committee too. And we do some great work really trying to help families. I'd like to invite you to try and discover tapping. Actually, I'm going to lead you through a very simple exercise right now. If everybody could get comfortable in their chair, I'm going to take a quick sip of water. I'm a fast talker. And I invite you to discover tapping. The tappingsolution.com is a wonderful website. There's a gentleman named Nick, his brother Alex, and his sister Jessica have started an organization that originally was developed for individuals in the military coming home with PTSD. And this was a calming methodology to be used to reduce stress and improve overall health and wellness benefits. So when you start tapping, you think about something that you want to work towards, a goal or something perhaps that you would like to alleviate yourself of. And so I'm going to focus on good things happening for the summer, that I can stop saying no and I can start being a yes, I can partner again. So that's going to be my thought. So pick a thought of something that you want to manifest, whether it's at miraculous level or just a small goal, and think about it and bring that into your mind and focus. So again, I'm focusing on saying, yes, I can over the summer. And I'm going to tap at my head. Sometimes I count, you don't always have to. Tapping at the top of my head. Again, I'm reminding myself of my focused goal, which is being able to say yes over the summer and have fun with my children. I'm going to tap over my eyes, just above the eyebrows. And now I'm going to tap under my eyes at the top of my cheekbone. I'm going to move my tapping to under my lip, under my nose, my top lip. And then I'm going to tap at my jawbone. And I usually move it back. I think at the back of my jawbone is where I find myself clenching sometimes. And we carry a lot of stress in our jaw and a lot of stress in our neck. And then we tap at our upper chest bone here. You feel your bone where your neck meets your body. And then they offer the next tapping spot is under one arm. It could be either arm. And they tap under the hand is the final spot. And so you might want to pass through this round. We'll do one more round a little faster this time, just to give you a better idea. And this is supposed to be calming and really help you focus on your goals. And there's a lot of neurology and science that says if we think it, we believe it, we can have it. Over the eyes, under the eyes, under the nose, at the jawbone or at the bottom of the face, the chest bone, under the arm, and the bottom of the hand. This is a photograph of a book. It's called The Tapping Solution. As you see, it's a good read. And I think it's a really nice coping strategy that you can also teach to your children. I have Eric do this on occasion if he's really feeling stressed about something. And it really just helps center a person back to where you need to start, right? If you raise your stress level and you're all the way up here, you might be able to lower yourself and come, you might not get back to neutral right away, but you should be able to lower yourself once focusing on something more positive. So I think the Tapping Solution is good stuff. They also have an app and some other resources that you could find on their website. On the right side here, we have Holistic Imaginations. Miss Cass is a music therapist. She's a great gal, and she started this organization during COVID. She hosts Zoom workshops, and she has some financial opportunities, accepting either private pay or also self-direction or Medicaid for reimbursement. And she can be contacted for more details. She's fun, she's engaging, she does a lot with art and also music. Our Thunderbolts swim team trains at the Goshen Aquatic Center. It's a great place for swim lessons. They train teams from different schools, and they do a great job there. We will be training Thunderbolts this summer. I'm waiting to hear from the aquatics director about when we will have pool time, and I am excited to get my team back in the water. Very exciting. So in addition to me being a Special Olympic swim coach, I'm certified under the Swim Angelfish certification, which is a water safety and swim skills program. So as caregivers, what's always on the top of our mind? Can I hear everyone shouting out safety? Like, we can all agree, safety is like at our utmost importance, right, for our children. So not only do we want to build swim skills, thank you for the nod, Melissa, we want to build water safety skills. So the Swim Angelfish program, I'm certified, and I'll be teaching that at the Goshen Aquatic Center in the future once we get programs back up and running in regular fashion. I highly recommend that you go to their website and take a look at some of their videos. All caregivers you can be in the shallow end of a pool in the 3 feet. Everybody can stand. Nobody has to be wading in the deep end, and teach safety skills, how to take the side, how to communicate with the lifeguard, floating, back floating, front floating, side floating, kicking. If you can kick, you can move yourself in the water. And most of us have stronger legs and lower body strength than we do upper body. Learning arm stroke is secondary to learning to flutter kick. If you can kick, you can move yourself in the water and you can get to a safer spot. Sorry. I think that's really important. So if you visit the Swim Angelfish website, you can find videos and other free resources that will engage you to help your swimmer be more safe in the pool and also learn some swim skills. The Beautiful People organization is a great adaptive sports opportunity for children and individuals with developmental disabilities, but it is also an inclusion model. We welcome siblings and other volunteers as buddies for baseball, basketball, soccer, and cheer. And their program is for ages 6 and up. They're based in Warwick, New York, and you can visit their website for more information. I'm proud to say that I sit on the Think Differently committee here in Orange County. This started across the river in Dutchess County. You may be familiar with County Executive Marcus Molinaro started this program, and we have adopted the model in Orange County under County Executive Steve Newhouse. Our mission is to fulfill the promise of a community where all people can fully participate, are valued for their unique contributions, and can achieve their dreams. Isn't that what we all want, really? If we have a special needs individual or we're a family raising typical individuals, we want to move forward and achieve dreams and do it cohesively with confidence and independence. And so I'm proud to say over time, our initiatives will be expanding throughout our county to welcome businesses, organizations, and restaurants to think differently and be more welcoming for all individuals, person first. Amen. I want to encourage you to have a lot of fun. Legoland starts welcoming friends to the grounds this coming weekend. They should have a great experience. They are for young people. I understand ideal ages is probably somewhere between preschool and 11, 12, 13. My Eric went recently as a friend and family through someone we know that's been working there, gave him a little bit of a walking tour, and he had a great time. He was building some things and he engaged on a couple of the rides. So, you know, again, like we talked about earlier, some of our friends may be over, you know, the recommended age is 13 or 14. We're probably still good at 15, 16, 17. You know, we're kids at heart. We're going to have a good time. The castle is located in Chester, and they offer a lot of great things as well. Right now, I know they're offering mini golf, and I believe they have the outside batting cage. I'm going to move a little bit faster. I see that we're nearing in on an hour. I want to really just take a minute to talk a little bit more about the Choose Love movement. And we'll close our talk in just a few minutes, and we'll, of course, save a few minutes for anybody that might have a question or a contribution or another suggestion. Teach social and emotional learning skills, teach coping skills, you know, make time for yourself. It's not always easy. We don't put the caregiver first. I see you nodding again out there. We put the kids first. I know, I do it. So, but you have to also carve out some time for self-care and make sure that you're doing well, right? So again, the Choose Love movement has a wonderful curriculum. You can find free resources on our website. Our formula is courage plus gratitude plus forgiveness plus compassion equals the Choose Love formula. And we actually like to say compassion in action, because compassion is one thing when it's inside your heart and inside your head. But when we take an action step to offer the compassion in a situation or to another person, that's compassion in action, and we make things happen. And we're better for it, and we offer you know, a better opportunity or an experience for the person we're offering the compassion to. You go to the website for chooselovemovement.org. You need to create a registration to be able to access the free resources, only because they want to know who's visiting the website. The programs are comprehensive and intuitive, grades pre-K through 12. There are programs for communities, and there are programs for families. It's called Choose Love at Home. And there are also programs for coaches and athletes. And this all can be found on the website. A fast comment to recommend to our families affected with autism is to go to the Choose Love movement website and take a look at the Choose Love Aloha videos. A lot of times we know our learners are visually based. They like the engagement of a short video. And the friends in Hawaii have done a magnificent job. Thank you, Miss Dawn, of creating videos for some of the lessons featuring the Choose Love formula. So the Choose Love Aloha is one of our longest longevity partners implementing the Choose Love movement curriculum in their schools. They are doing a great job. The Choose Love program is taught in 50 states 112 countries, most recently signed on in Japan, and has only been a program for 7 years, and it's free. So we have funders, we do fundraising, we take donations, we have community partners, and it is comprehensive. One of the best, in my opinion, the best social and emotional learning curriculum out there, and can be compared, and you will find, I believe, the same. We also have collaboration, and our standards are in line with character development and the folks at character.org. For those of you in the data-driven world in schools, the program and the standards are very much in line with social and emotional standards. So I am Stacey Orzell, a very proud mom first, parent advocate, swim angel fish instructor, a certified Special Olympic coach, and my most recent certification as New York State Choose Love Ambassador. It's great work. I love spreading the movement. I help families help their children, and it fills my heart. And when I'm happy, others around me can be more happy. If I'm grouchy and grumpy, it goes the same way, right? I see you all nodding again at me. Thank you so much. So I can be reached. I'm always available to talk to another mom and help figure out a strategy or offer a suggestion. I love having a talk with a mom about figuring out some goals for their child or how to advocate at a CSE table. I enjoy being helpful, and like I was manifesting my miracles, I enjoy saying, yes, I can. I was so, blundered last year with everything being no. And if you know me, and you've all gotten about an hour to know my spirit and my spunk, I'm a redheaded New Yorker living in the New York minute with my energy. And I don't like to have to say no, certainly to my children or to myself. So with that, I'm good to close my my talk right now. I will share the presentation to Sandy, and she will be able to share that to all of you. And like she said, it will be posted as an archive. So thank you, everyone. If anybody has a question, you can either use the chat box and Sandy can help us out, or by all means, pop on camera, or if you want to remain off screen, we don't mind. Does anybody have a question? I can't hear you, Sandy. Not yet. I think you had considered muting everyone because of the feedback.